Hey y'all, it's Jody Mae. Thanks for joining me for this video. This is a Millionaire Spaghetti recipe. Trust me, you want to try this. It is off the hook. So for this recipe, you're going to need some cottage cheese, some sour cream, some cream cheese, minced garlic, Italian seasoning, some salt, minced onion, some salt, some Worcestershire, some pasta sauce, ground beef. I will be cooking all 3 pounds, but only 2 pounds of this will go for this meal. The other pound will be frozen, and some spaghetti noodles. And look over the mess, guys, because I'm still in the middle of packing, organizing, and getting ready to move. So if you guys want to watch this recipe on this Millionaire Spaghetti, stay tuned. Now I have my water on to boil for the noodles, and I add just a splash of olive oil just to keep my noodles from sticking. I don't add salt. And then I'm just going to get my ground beef into the skillet and get it started. And you guys, I want to give a huge shout out to Mrs. Dickenson. I'm going to leave her link to her channel below, because this here's where I got the idea for this recipe at. It is not my recipe, but I am changing it up just enough for my family. You guys can change it up just a little bit for your family. But I'm just going to go ahead and get this started, and I'm going to add some salt and pepper. And then when it's cooked, then I will take out 1/3 of it, put it in a freezer bag. After it's cooled off, put it in the freezer. And then the other 2 pounds, we will go ahead and get ready for this meal. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get the cheese sauce started. And to that, I did not look at the recipe or the ingredients of her on her channel, but I am going to just guess what we would prefer. So I'm going to use a whole stick of this cream cheese. Well, if I can get it out of the package here. A whole stick of the cream cheese. And then I'm going to add in probably about, and no, I'm not measuring, probably about 1.5 cups of cottage cheese. That's about right. Oh, I'm getting this everywhere. And I'm going to go ahead and add the sour cream. This here's about a cup. Yeah, about a cup of sour cream. You guys can adjust your portions, you know, to what suits your family. That's what cooking is all about. Everybody has their own preferences, and I do gotta wipe my hands so I don't get this all over my seasoning bottle here. And then I'm going to add in my Italian seasoning, probably about 1.5 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. And then I'm just going to mix this up. And there is another ingredient that I did forget that I'm probably going to need, and that is tomato sauce for the meat mixture. So, and my hamburger is cooking, my water is heating up, and then I'm going to go ahead and mix this stuff up here. And I'm thinking maybe adding some mozzarella to this cheese. I don't know. We'll see by the end of this video if I do that or not. But I'm going to go ahead and get this here mixed up really good, and we'll be right back. Okay, I have already taken out 1/3 of this to be put into the freezer. Now I'm just going to add in probably, I don't know, 2 teaspoons of minced onion, probably 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, and then I will add probably about 1 to 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire. I'll go ahead and mix that up and let that start simmering the onions and the garlic together here. My noodles are about done. It smells so good in here already. Now I'll let that sit there and simmer for a few minutes while I am getting the spaghetti sauce ready. And then I will add in, oh, and I forgot to open it, the 1 can of tomato sauce. You guys, I was seriously thinking about actually just making all 3 pounds of this hamburger and just putting a freezer meal of this up. I don't know how well that would be if I tried to freeze it. Like, I know it would all freeze well, but I don't know how it would mix well. So I may try that the next time. But once I get this all mixed up here, I'm just going to let that simmer for probably about 5 to 10 minutes. That way my noodles are good and done. And then I will get this assembled. So we'll be right back. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and start assembling this. If I can keep my arm out of the way here. Now what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of the pasta sauce on the bottom just to keep the noodles from sticking. And I'm thinking I may have enough to make a freezer meal out of this. I'm not sure yet. We shall see. And then I'm going to add noodles. I don't know, I might not have cooked enough noodles. Maybe. But if I have too much sauce, that's fine, because I can just freeze the sauce and just use it later. Just try to even these noodles out here a little bit. Oh, and I'm making an absolute mess. Okay. Now, in order to have enough room for the sauce and the cheese, I'd say that's probably it for the noodles. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and scoop in this cheese mixture here. In there, get a layer of that. Smooth this out. Try to get it as even as possible here. Man, this already looks good. I don't know about you all, but this looks good already. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and top it off with some sauce here. And you guys, I believe I am going to have enough to do a freezer meal. Awesome! The reason why that excites me is because on days that I just don't feel like cooking, I can just take something out of the freezer, throw it in the oven, or even the night before I can take it out, throw it in the oven, cook it up, and no prep time at all. Like, no prep time. That's kind of why I like doubling up. Whenever I cook for one meal, I usually try to make an abundance. That way I have enough for more than one. So I cook once for that meal, and I get 2, 3, 4 meals out of it. And then I have plenty of freezer meals. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and cover this with foil. Put it in the oven at 350 for probably 25-30 minutes. And then I'll take it out, take the aluminum foil off, cover it with mozzarella cheese. Let's go. Okay, this is cooked about 30-32 minutes. So I just took the aluminum foil off, and now I'm just going to put a layer of mozzarella cheese on the top here. And then I'll put it back in the oven, probably for another 10 minutes. And it will be time to eat. I'm telling you what, this stuff smells good. I have never had this, never even heard of it before, until I seen Mrs. Dickenson make this. And I'm telling you, my mouth started watering, I started drooling. Oh, it was amazing. So hopefully my recipe here, a little tweaking that I did to it, will serve it justice. So we're going to get this in the oven for about 10-15 minutes, like I said, uncovered, and get this cheese nicely golden brown.